How does this weird stone bath mat help prevent slips?
Do you hate stepping out of the shower into a puddle?
Espionage is a game of cat and mouse that nations play endlessly. That Uzbekistan has witnessed since the 2005 Andijan massacre. China is preparing itself for a new war. This is a war to control the minds of its own people, and it's as unconventional as it gets. The government wants to sense the mood of every individual at all times. The Chinese government wants to know what makes people happy and what they approve of and what they disagree with. And armed with this data, Beijing can suddenly decide to penalize you if the government were to find out that you do not wholeheartedly support the government's policies. Does this strike to you as an Orwellian, all-powerful dystopian surveillance state? Because that is precisely what this is, and it's a reality that people in China will have to live with in the days to come. To be clear, this is very different from China's notorious and all-pervasive surveillance, coupled with its draconian credit system. In fact, this is way worse. This is a new project that China is bringing about for the Communist Party workers to begin with. For Xi Jinping, loyalty is the greatest virtue. And to achieve this, the Chinese researchers have combined surveillance cameras with AI tools to read the minds of the Communist China Party workers and to make them more receptive to political education. So does this sound far-fetched to you? Well, this is how Xi Jinping is going about reading the minds of his own party workers. The Chinese Communist Party workers will be subjected to party propaganda material on the internet. They'll be constantly monitored through surveillance cameras, and then AI, artificial intelligence, will decide how engaged they were while reading through the party's plans and policies. Any hint of disapproval on their faces of government policies will land them in trouble. The organization behind this new mind control project is the Hefei Comprehensive National Science Center. And this grand plan was launched on the 1st of July this year on the foundation day of the Chinese Communist Party. The Communist Party of China already has an indoctrination app called the Study Sheet to Make China Strong, when 96 million Communist China Party members are expected to earn points by reading articles and watching videos. Each party member must earn a minimum of 40 points per day by reading at least 4 articles, each of which would take about 4 minutes to read, and then by watching 3 videos whose duration would be at least 9 minutes per video. Failure to do this on a day-to-day basis will result in pay cuts for party workers. Now, this app was a roaring success in China. It was downloaded more than 100 million times in just the first quarter of its release in 2019. Much of the content on the app includes speeches, travels, and also some interesting quotes of Xi Jinping. Even school students haven't been spared this propaganda. Learning about Xi Jinping is now a part of school curriculum, and students earn extra credits by familiarizing themselves with party propaganda. These types of indoctrination apps track the amount of time that each user spends on these apps. For the common Chinese people, this is a way of getting ahead under the communist regime. So a lot of people in China are downloading and spending time on these indoctrination apps simply to earn the favor of the government. When China rolled out the dubious social credit system in 2014 that monitored the behavior of people through mass surveillance cameras and awarded or deducted social credits, people around the world thought that the Chinese government had gone too far. The system of awarding social credits is opaque, and some of the rules are totally random. Things like bad driving, or smoking in a non-smoking zone, or even purchasing too many video games can result in social credits getting deducted. This then has real-life consequences, as people on the basis of their social credits can get barred from booking flight or train tickets. For people outside of China, this may appear baffling, but according to the Chinese government documents, at least about 9 million people have already been blocked from buying tickets for domestic flights, and about 3 million people people have been blacklisted from purchasing business class tickets for offences as simple as loitering in front of the boarding gates. At your workplace, a low social credit score could mean getting passed over by subordinates for promotions and plum postings. A low social credit score can also have consequences for your children. Schools can deny admission to young kids on the basis of the social credit scores of their parents. And even vacations are fair game. Top hotels can deny you admission on the basis of your social credit score. By 2016, China had started to prepare a blacklist of its citizens. People would be notified before they were put on the blacklist, but they have the right to appeal in a court within 10 days of being served the notice. This is how China has controlled the behavior of millions of its people, with seemingly random rules that were monitored through a vast system of surveillance cameras. And now China is making a new beginning. It wants to control what its people think and how their minds are conditioned. Now, in a free democratic society, sovereignty rests with the people, who can keep their government on its toes. But in China, in the absolute authoritarian setup under Xi Jinping, the government is content with not just controlling people's behavior. It now also wants to control their minds.
House